Yo, what up? Welcome back to another episode of The Spot. Thank you all for joining me again. Thank you for all my subscribers. Everybody who continues to support the page, support just everything about The Spot, man. Everything that we're about. I really appreciate y'all. Today I have another guest. Is a good friend of mine, man, from back in the day, man. I knew this dude when he was a youngster, man. He was on the come up in the rap game. We've actually had his group partners, his group member, on one of our previous episodes. They when I met them, I knew they were special, man. They had this thing that they did, man, on stage, and this presence that they had in their music, that was just kind of undeniable. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, man, I looked at them as my little brothers. You know what I'm saying? I tried to, do as much as I could while my time in the industry to support, whatever it is that they had going on. So without further ado, I'd like to bring out my boy, my good friend Malcom. Thank you, brother, for joining me, man. Welcome to The Spot, man. Thank you for coming through, man. How you doing, man? Looking good, man. I ain't seen you some time, man. You looking good. Yeah, I dig. No, I trust me, I dig it, bro. I could dig it, man. But that's what's up, man. What you been up to lately, man? I seen you had, over the years, we had some separation. There was some time where I didn't see you. I know, I kind of was a little bit familiar with what your partner Greg was doing at the time, because I know you were kind of offline and what I'm saying, for a while and stuff like that. So I hadn't seen you in a while, but when you did resurface, I had seen that you were kind of back doing your thing, music wise. I always see your freestyles. You actually dropped the project Fam. Yeah, that project was dope, man. I have a few of them on my playlist, bro, that I keep on me, dude. Yeah, man, I dug that project, man. But tell us what's going on with you, man. Tell the people where you from, man. Where you from? What's your neck of the woods, bro?
West Side, Long Beach, California.
All right.
Not from where Snoop at, on the other side of where Snoop at.
Okay.
Long Beach, I can't, to me, great city to me.
Right.
Yeah, we grew up.
Right. I dig.
Long Beach, California, that's kind of where I got my style and everything I was.
Right.
I got a little bit of Watts in me, so it come out, But yeah, Long Beach, California, man.
Okay. Long Beach. Long Beach, man. There's a lot of artists that come out of Long Beach, man. I've seen. Yeah.
Everybody Long Beach.
Right. Yeah.
No shade to nobody.
Right. I tell you, and even California, living from California, if you know any niggas from California, most of the niggas is from either Compton or Long Beach. It's either, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people you meet out of California, and I'll be thinking like, dude, how big is Long Beach, or how big is Compton? Like, how big can Compton be, bro? Like, everybody from Compton, everybody from Long Beach. Yeah, man.
Those are two very well traveled.
Absolutely. Right. Everybody knows where Long. Right. Exactly. So, man, I dig that, man. So, I know you have became a father. Tell me a little bit about that, man. Like two babies, man. It's a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy to me to see that these young cats then grew up on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't say that to like son y'all or nothing like that. No, but it's just like for me when I was on a come up, man. I remember everybody at my house. We was freestyling. We was at my house, in my little apartment. You remember that joint?
I remember.
Yeah, we was over there freestyling. We you know what I'm saying? We was trying to come up with a clique and a team. We was trying to build the whole joint up.
Trying to go to college. I got practice tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That was that young. It was he had practice the next day and stuff like that. These cats was like some real students of it. Yeah, it was fresh. Yeah, bro. Like y'all was super young. So it's crazy for y'all. It's dope. I love to see the growth, man. I love to see how far y'all have come in life. Not just y'all, just even the people that I used to. I just really like to see the growth. Just to see the growth, man. Exactly, because we deserve to grow. We don't get that opportunity out here like that. The society and brutality and the mental stress that they try to paint on us. We don't have that many years on us. So to see young black men like y'all continue to grow and continue to have families and children and just keep this thing going, it's beautiful to see, man. So tell me about your kids, man. Like,
so my oldest, Caden, my little boy.
Caden, okay.
My dog, turns 2 January 27th.
Oh, right on the corner.
That's my dog. So he got like personality.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love him, man. He like football.
yeah.
Now, I didn't force it on him. I didn't force it on him. But he liked football. So he always asks me what football.
Right.
Watching football. So that's what
Right.
we do. It's just getting him to grow. His mom is not black, so
Okay.
it's like teaching everybody around him that's not black to
Right, right,
understand
right,
how you raise a black man,
right,
because it's different from anything else in this world. You know what I'm saying? For them
right,
to understand like what they need to see, the struggle that they'll
right,
have to go through just for
right.
being, the auntie or the
Mm-hmm.
grandmother or the
Mm-hmm.
mom of a new
Mm-hmm.
black man.
Right.
And then my youngest is, I got a newborn, born October 1st, Kaylani.
Mm-hmm.
She was 6 weeks now.
6 weeks, man.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful babies, man.
yeah,
Beautiful
it's
babies.
beautiful, man. It's something that you'll never understand until
Mm-mm.
you're in it.
Till
You
you
just
in it.
like, damn.
Till you in it.
Full fledged.
Till you in it. Till you in it.
Yeah.
Is
And
your
the
mic on? Let me make sure your mic is on. Let me see. I don't think it's on. It's okay though. All right, you good now?
Oh
You
yeah.
good.
If you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you from my shit and this
Oh,
one. So
okay.
we saw
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we saw it. So yeah.
It's cool, man. I just think like being a father, like your sense of responsibility
Right.
clicks so fast.
Yeah.
Like it's so fast. And it just
Yeah.
happens naturally without you thinking like, oh, I gotta do this for my kids. It's just like, no, I'm just naturally gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You naturally start thinking that way. Like you gotta get out of your old ways, like
Right.
understanding that shit, I got somebody to go home to.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And like just with different things as a black man, like
Yeah,
you go
of
through
course.
every day.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn, like through all that, I still gotta go home.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I still have to raise my children, understand that they are mixed kids, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, the way society sees anybody mixed with black,
Mm-hmm.
you black.
Of course. Now, and this is a little off of what, but being that you have interracial children, do you foresee like society treating them any lesser or any better? Because sometimes when you get interracial children, depending on, the race that you have them with, they almost sometimes have a privilege, but then when you have somebody of the darker complexion, or if you go within your, you know what I'm saying, like what do you feel like that'll have a toll on them growing up, just as far as how you guys are raising them, or do you feel maybe
well, I know for me, like I was like I'm mixed, so for me it was always like I'm not as black as my black friends, I'm not as white as my white friends, you know what I'm saying? But I just always I want to raise my kid. I tell the mother of my children, like,
of course,
we just have to let them know that who they are is okay.
Right.
If my son's hair is curlier than his friends, that's okay.
Right.
Your little cousin, she might not. It's okay.
Right.
She's her, you. Like, love who you are. I'm just trying to teach to my children self-love, self-respect, and like understanding your value and your worth.
Right.
Never let nobody demean
of course
your value. I tell the mother of my children, like, no matter who it is, like, I understand, like, you have aunts and you have, like, but I will go off on your aunt for my child.
Yeah, no, I did.
And not apologize about it, because
course.
That's what young black kids need to see. They need to understand, like, I belong here.
Right.
And can't nobody tell me nothing
else. Exactly. I've myself have seen just raising, daughters, just the things that society is going to paint on them. Like, first off, I told you I have, a teenager, and, she probably won't like this, but, me and my wife have had to deal with, the questions, because she doesn't, number one, she doesn't go to a predominantly urban black school. We live in, a certain area to where, there's predominantly other races, white, Mexican, but it's predominantly, white people who go to this school. And sometimes, I remember a couple times she's, come home and ask, why isn't my hair this flowy? And why isn't my, you know what I'm saying? Just like certain things that she didn't understand, you know, that society, you know, put on her, or to make her believe that this is just the one thing that's normal.
Yeah.
This is you're supposed to have one shade of hair, and you're supposed to be long and flowy, and it's supposed to
one type
of, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And so I see, you know, when I see, you know, kids who grow up with biracial, you know, parents, and, you know, just in a biracial thing, I think it's a beautiful thing, because I think they have an advantage of being both. It's the you know, the best of both worlds.
You connect to
You
different
can
cultures.
connect to different cultures. You have
100%.
a connection with everything, and you know what I'm saying, everybody. So I think that's amazing, man. I think that's amazing, man. So, you know, when I became a father, you know, I realized that I'm responsible for change. I don't know if you felt that overwhelming feeling when your baby was born. First off, when your baby is born, I don't know if you did this, but me, I count the 10 fingers and the 10 toes.
10 toes, 100%.
That's,
I can make sure
if we made it out of there,
we solid.
We're all right.
Heart good, everything else good.
We're all right.
We can work on everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
We're all right. We're all right.
100%.
But when you know, they start to get older, and you know, they start to talk, and they start to, you know, discover what they like and who they are, and trying to figure out their personality. Like my 3-year-old is trying to figure out her personality right now. Crazy part, she got a personality just like me. So she acts just like me. She talks just like me. She reacts to things just like, it's seeing a mirror image of myself. But when I became this father, you know, first off, I was an instant dad because of my oldest, and then, you know, I started having, you know, children. I realized that I'm responsible for making this person a changer for the world. I'm responsible for this person, and I can only imagine you being, because your babies are so young, that the things that kind of go through your head on a daily basis of what it is, you know, that you have to do, especially with the climate that we live in. The climate that we live in, man, it's hard being black out here, number one, and then it's hard to raise black children to know what and how harsh the world is. You know what I'm saying? Being stopped by police, being you know,
just looked at,
profiled when you're walking up the street,
and people would be like, "What are you doing?" 100%.
Right. Can you speak on that, bro? Can you speak on, like, you know, I know your children are young right now, but some of the things that you had to grow up, maybe your you know what I'm saying, your people taught you. What is something, the things you plan to pass down to your children?
I know. So for me, right, and the good thing with me was my dad always taught me to be self-aware of myself.
Right.
So it made me, I understood shit differently. I don't know if can I cuss.
Yeah, you go.
I understood shit differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always was very aware. And I see it in my kids. Like my son is very aware.
Right.
You know, if we in a place and he don't know people, he gonna sit and watch people for a minute.
Of course.
See if everybody cool.
Right.
And then he gonna have fun and be himself.
Right.
So with me being self-aware, like I understand like my look, like I got braids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm black. I hate to say it, I'm a nigga. Like,
yeah, of course.
I'm a nigga. Like I'm full fledged. Like I'm from where I'm from.
Right. Exactly.
I wear Jordans. Exactly. I like my music loud.
Exactly.
But on top of that, I'm also college educated. You know what I'm saying? I know how to speak for myself. I know what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
You know, and so for my son, I always wanted, I want him, and I always try to be around him like a strong black man.
Yeah.
Every single time. You know, I try to let him understand like you can have your emotions first of all. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's okay to be emotional.
Because my dad was a great dad. My dad was the best dad, right? But my dad was, you know, my dad was from Watts. My dad was from.
They're from a different era. It's the same thing as my dad.
Was gangbang era.
Right,
so you know, there was no.
You couldn't be that way. There was no way you could do that. Yeah.
You might die.
You get your ass whipped, but you do what I'm saying?
100%. So he kind of like, he didn't know how to teach me that.
Right.
So with me going other places, expanding my mind, expanding where I got to see, meet new people, you start to, you know, you broaden your horizons, you soften up. Like, okay, it's okay to be this way.
Right.
It's okay to talk to somebody who, you know, like I play football in Kentucky. Like, I had homies who had Confederate flags on their things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I understanding like now, like what the fuck?
Right.
And I understand what it means to them is different from what
exactly
what some people say. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody with a Confederate flag is
No,
You know
no,
what I'm
that's a
saying?
Southern thing.
Yeah, and that's what he was
That's
telling
a
me.
Southern thing. Like it's offensive, because after,
Yeah.
but that's a Southern thing.
Yeah.
Black people run around with Confederate
Exactly.
flags in the South. That's a
Yes.
thing.
So for my son, I always try to teach him like this is how you be a stand up, strong black man.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself, understand who you are, you're supposed to be.
Right.
If you're not doing nothing wrong,
Right.
can't nobody tell you nothing. For my daughter, it scares me.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason it scares me for my daughter is because not only is she black, but she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and obviously, you know, I'm not a woman. I don't know how to be a woman.
It scares you because you're a man.
Yeah. And I
scares you
know
because you're a man.
every like
Exactly.
every bad thing that happens to women.
Exactly.
Like, and I'll be like, hell no.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because every thought that you ever thought of a woman,
come in your head.
You hate to believe it, but somebody will think of your daughter
the same
in the same ways that you thought of somebody else's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to go into Papa mode.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I will, boy.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny, right? Because like all my homies and all like my girl tell all her friends like, oh, when she get old enough,
right,
it's gonna be a problem. And
oh yeah,
like,
of course,
yeah.
Of course.
Anybody you bring in, I gotta talk to you. You gotta sit right here on this couch, and I need to know every single.
I have an actual plan when my daughter start bringing boys home. 100%. My first thing to tell them is, I don't like you, and I'm not going to like you. Make me like you.
100%.
It's your job to make me like you.
100%.
And but I won't like you. I'm gonna just tell you that from jump. I will not like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's never. I will never. You know what I'm saying? Make me like you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But 100%. It is scary, man, when you have girls out here, bro. Like, you know, my daughters. You know, number one, I tell them, you know, you never. That's why I try to do my absolute best. See, the way I grew up in a 2-parent household. Mm-hmm. My father, you know, always, you know, obviously loved my mother. There was never no infidelities, never no, you know, abuse, and nothing like that ever happened in my family. So I was exposed to more of the better side. Yeah, but of course, there was hard times. Yeah. Of course, there was things that happened and transpired.
Yeah, just day-to-day stuff.
Of course. Yeah. But of course, you've seen arguments, you've seen bouts, and you've seen disagreements, you've seen that kind of stuff. I've seen that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I grew up in a household to where I was exposed to a man loving a woman. Mm. So therefore, I am going to transfer that into my daughter seeing how much I love their mother in 100%. Front of them. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? 100%. In front of them. Because our jobs, especially with raising girls, is to set the bar higher. You know what I'm saying? 100%. There is no man that should be able to come in. For me personally, I feel like there is no man that should be able to come in your daughter's life that can do anything more impressive than what you showed her growing up. 100%. She should not be impressed by anything a man can show her on the street.
And even with that, now that you say that, it's funny, right? So the reason that I grew up in bad neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I never followed nobody else, because I had my dad was the role model.
Right.
Like my dad, I'm not saying he got it either legally or illegally, but you know,
neither here nor there.
Yeah, you know, that's not the problem.
Neither here nor there.
My dad didn't have me job like
right.
I'm 9 years old,
right?
Counting $110,000.
Right.
He's showing it to me. He's showing me like my dad is showing me the stuff that people was infatuated with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The weed, the like that stuff, like other stuff that can't be said on camera.
Right.
That stuff was like he showed me like this is what it is. This is not what you want to get into.
Right.
Because if you get into this, then this is what you. So when I got to, you know, my and my ages where I'm following everybody's trying to figure out who they are. It wasn't like I ain't got to go.
You knew the road. Yeah. It didn't impress you.
Yeah, no, I was never impressed.
Yeah, you weren't an impressionable person because you got exposed, and I think that's kind of like a double-edged type of thing because in this world, like. You see the exposure that they're trying to put our kids through. Like it even goes down to even how young our kids are. You know, you watch YouTube or you watch let's just say Hulu. Let's call it out. Hulu is what it is. You know, and you know you sit back and you watch a simple show with them. I was watching I think Masked Singer with my daughter the other day, and you know, you go to a commercial, it's one of them little short commercials, and it's advertisement of some kind of drug or something to to make AIDS undetectable or something like that. Yeah, it was almost like you can have AIDS, but if you take this pill, then you're undetectable. It's so minor in your system that it's undetectable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two things that you're doing. All right. Number one, you're telling people out here, and you're telling these boys and girls who are my age, my daughter's age, because mind you, Masked Singer is a family show, and it's a certain age to a certain age. You dig what I'm saying? So number one, you're telling people that it's okay, number one, to have unprotected sex and to catch a life-threatening disease, and that if you take this pill, that it's going to be undetectable.
So
you dig what I'm saying? Right. So you have to tell nobody. That's just problem number one. Number 2, I'm watching something with my daughter, and there's 2 males kissing. There's 2 women kissing, and there's this and there's that. And I'm not saying that is wrong for them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what you shouldn't do. What I'm saying is, don't expose my child to this type of thing.
Child.
Exactly. Yeah. My child should not think that this is okay until she makes up in her mind that that's okay. If that's what she wants to do with her life, just know you weren't raised that way. You dig what I'm saying? So my whole thing is to not be so impressionable out here and to expose these kids to certain things, but when they grow up later in life, it becomes like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm not for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't raise that way. And it's the same thing, kind of, you know, in a different way, obviously, but
it's letting them say it without
that your dad raised you that way. It was like, yo, this is some shit you shouldn't be impressed with later in life, but this is some shit that just shouldn't shock you. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Like, back then it was either because it was like agendas. It was just either be black. It was either agenda. He was a gang member. He's an athlete. He's a rapper.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? So,
of course. I know you have a son, but I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna love being a girl dad. And I'll tell you why. Because being a girl dad, and I didn't like, my wife was trying for a boy. We tried for a boy, and we just kept having girls, obviously. And I realized that God didn't put that in my life. He didn't have that in the books for me. One thing I noticed in my life is that I needed to feel a certain amount of love, just personally for me. And when you have a girl, this is just my personal experience and dads I've spoken to, you have somebody who's going to love you for the rest of your life. You have somebody when everybody's mad at you, when the world is upset at you, when your girl is upset at you, when you know, when the bills ain't going right, and when the job ain't going right, and when this ain't going right, you got a daughter who's gonna say, "Daddy, I love you." Daddy is and it's the
okay,
greatest. Daddy. It's okay. It's the greatest feeling in the world because your daughter will always love you. The kids will always love you, but a daughter, man.
No, that's what everybody's
the greatest thing in the world.
That's what everybody's talking
about. The greatest thing in the world.
Unconditional.
Yes, absolutely unconditional. Yeah. You can be the worst daddy. There's sometimes, bro, where I feel like I'm just like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done been through it throughout the day. I'm tired. I'm irritable. I'm short fused. I'm this and I'm that. And then it's like, she can get me right. You know what I'm saying? She can get me there. You know what I'm saying?
They're good at doing that.
She can get me there. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But she gets me, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's my anchor, bro. Like, she'll
take you there.
Yeah, exactly. She makes me know that I am number one to her. And it's funny, you know, teenagers, you know, my oldest, they don't want, you know, she ain't got no time for me and nothing like that.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with
nobody. Yeah, they ain't got no damn time for me. But my 3-year-old, man, she is a menace when it comes to my attention. Even my baby, the baby she be looking at me when she be over here like they want daddy's attention. You know what I'm saying? Like they just stare and just want daddy's attention. So I can't do anything one without the other. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to your kids, man. Shout out to your son, man. But you'll see when your daughter gets older, man. It's
I mean, I can see it now, even when she like somebody holding her.
Oh yeah, they're gonna look for you. They know where daddy is.
I'd be like, Daddy.
Yep. They know.
It's crazy though.
Exactly, man. So I know you from entertainment world when we again was trying to get on, man. All them songs and freestyles we was coming up with, man. You know, I know you from that, but I know you're an athlete as well, man. I know you did your thing in college. Tell me a little bit about that, man. How did those two worlds come together, bro? Like, when you was doing your thing.
I've always been in sports since I was little. You know what I'm saying? I've always love sports, football, basketball. I played everything. You get me?
Okay.
Um, just it coming together. I think it's just the competitiveness of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you competitive, like you understand. Like in the music game, it's like you versus everybody.
Right. Of course.
When you get on that field, it's like you versus everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're on that court, it's you versus everybody. And that's like you feel it, and it's like I've always been a performer because I've always been on stages to perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm on the football field. Like everybody's watching me, and type of person I am. It's like, okay, cool. If you out here to watch me, I'm gonna put on a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure you get your money's worth.
Right. I dig that.
This is the reason why I work hard. So when music came, it was like, okay, y'all here to watch me? Right. I'm gonna show you why.
Right.
Like, I'm the best
right
now. That's how I'm feeling. Every time I'm on the stage, every time I get a mic in my hand, it's like, boom, all right, you watch me.
Right.
I'm gonna show you why you should be watching me.
I dig.
Every time. And I always worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I always worked hard at football. I always worked hard at the stuff that I always worked hard at rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would freestyle.
Right.
I'd be in the car. I freestyle on the way here.
Right.
Because it's just like
that's
what I'm used to. I'm used to like driving, hear somebody else's song, like hear something on the radio or on my playlist, and then be like,
I could do that shit.
Yeah,
I could do that shit. Yeah. It's the competitive nature, man. It's the competitive nature, and it's that's one thing that's hard to come by these days. Just in human beings in general. Yeah. I try to get my oldest she's in volleyball, and like this girl can play her ass off, man. Like she balls out, but it's this competitive thing, man. It's like this too nicey type. You know what I'm saying? It's just too nice. And I don't come from that world, bro. Like back in my day, in our day, when we was doing, in sports and school and just in NBA and sports in general.
Just in general.
It was rough, man. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like the level of competition, cats didn't really hang out with each other. They didn't really do anything. But I get it's a team sport, and I my wife makes me feel like I haven't grown out of those ages yet. Like my 100%. Sister always tells me, dude, this is like the late 2000s. We're like, you're not in the 90s anymore, dude. This is not that world. We just we can't do that kind of shit that they used to do back in the day. And maybe it's like, dude, I just live in this fucking like this atmosphere where I'm like,
everything is nice. It's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, the society is nice. Everything is nice.
It's changed. When I stuck on the train, like with this whole life,
I just think for us I think for females it's different.
Right.
Like, for men, like we be like every sport we played, you couldn't play no sport without getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like it was no matter what you play. Soccer, like I got homies, so even when I train and I coach now, and I be coaching like certain high school students, and I be like, bro, like I get what you're saying, like that's your dog, but when this game going on,
it's dog eat dog. It's dog eat dog up in this motherfucker.
I also think they feel like kids nowadays feel like they have so many different like ways to get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can be a streamer, I can be this, I can be that, I can be this, I can be that, right? And so I got like my cousin like, oh, I'm gonna be a basketball influencer, right? I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to 24 hour fitness do this. I'm like, all right, but are you willing to do like go in every day? Are you gonna do the editing? Are you gonna do all the stuff that it takes? Like kids go from this is what I want to do, I'm gonna be famous. Like they don't understand.
There's steps. Back
in the day, even when we played sports or even in music, it was like, all right, if I'm playing sports, like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta work hard, I gotta practice, I gotta train. After training, I gotta make sure I lift, I gotta be strong enough, and then I gotta perform.
You gotta perform.
Then I gotta do it all over again.
Right.
Kids nowadays be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a YouTube streamer.
Right.
That's cool. What are you gonna talk about? Why would somebody want to go and they don't understand?
Exactly.
And that's why I be trying to tell them, like, all right, bro, like everybody wanna go football, everybody wanna go D1. It's what? 80, maybe 130 something D1 schools. Every school hold 70 people.
That's a
couple million people playing. That's a million people probably playing high school football.
Right. Exactly. So the chances is
slim.
Very, very slim.
Especially if you're not working hard.
Right.
And that's anybody watching. If you young, if you're not working hard, it's gonna be hard for you to get anywhere in anything. And literally anything. Like I know a girl. She just turned 28 in a couple of weeks. And she just taking her bar exam. I know people that's 30, 34, 35 taking their bar exam because like it's that hard.
Right.
For you to really get some money out here, either you're going to have to out hustle everybody or you're going to have to outwork everybody.
Right.
Or you might have to do both.
Or you might have to do both. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
You might have to do both, and don't be disadvantaged. You know what I'm saying? Don't come from an area where you're disadvantaged. You don't have the resources
100%.
to even get to the point to where you get some exposure to something. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the saddest things, man, is to see so much talent in places, and I know you see it all the time. I know you see so many people, and you dealt with so many people in the past, and especially being an athlete, that have the talent, have the drive, but don't have the finances, don't have the resources that they need to be exposed and to get to these schools and colleges and recruiters and people who need to see them. So I know through your journey, I'm sure that was tough, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if like, so this is real shit. So my mom called me one day, right? Kid you not, my mom called me one day. I'm driving in the car, my mom called me. And she was like feeling down. She's like, Malcom, I'm sorry. I said, what you mean? You know, like for me, so backstory, when I was young, we moved probably every year. Literally, so from 3rd grade, so it's 12 grades, right? I'd have been in what, 14 schools in 12 grades?
Ooh, Lord.
So every year I was going to a different school. I was moving around a lot, you know what I'm saying? So my mom called me and she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, for what? She's like, I'm sorry. She's like, this is what my mom called me. If I would have been better and had consistent housing and consistent, like, you would have been in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she really meant that. And I can tell she really,
right.
I said to her, like, Mama, like, at the end of the day, you know, I don't blame you. I was like, I stopped blaming you a long time ago, Mama. Because at the end of the day, I'm a grown man.
Right.
All my life decisions, like, yeah, if we lived in one spot, it probably could have been easier. I probably could have, you know, got recruited easier when they didn't have to keep looking for me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but at the end of the day, I don't blame you. Like, that wasn't for me.
Right.
You know, all the moving and all the stuff that we did made me the person I am.
Right.
Because now, you can't be moved every year.
Yeah.
You can't be shy going to a different school. You ain't gonna have no friends.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm grown, I can go up and talk to anybody. Because like I've been to schools on the west side of LA, the west side of Long Beach, Dana Point, Huntington Beach. So it's like all these different cultures and all these different people I got to meet because we couldn't keep a spot.
Right.
You know, so and then, you know, at the time it's like it hurt because your mom is,
of course,
you know, she's feeling
it. She's blaming herself. Yeah, it's moms.
You know, and I was like, Mom, like, I can't blame you for that.
And I'm sure, you know, as you become a parent now, you can put yourself in your mom's shoes. See, here's what people don't really understand out here, and I had to realize this growing up too. You cannot blame your parents for everything 100%. That you have been through.
100%.
God puts you guys in situations, or puts you in situations to make you better. And they put and little do people know that a lot of the struggle that parents go through either is going to make or break their kids. And again, going back to the whole limited resources that, you know, I'm sure you come across in your line of duty with, you know, just with people and just even yourself. It sometimes the bigger picture of what we're looking for wasn't what God had in the plans for us.
100%.
I always thank God for saving me from me. I thank God for saving me for the things that I thought I wanted and I thought that were for me.
100%.
You never know what could have happened if you ever made it. You could have got hurt. You could have been, you know what I'm saying? Anything could have happened. I'm not saying that's what it would have happened, but I'm just saying a lot of things that God puts in that a lot of circumstances and hurdles that stop us and walls that we hit that stop us are God trying to prevent us from heartbreak and from things that can harm us, and you know what I'm saying, and save us from some type of path that 100%. We could have taken that would have been our downfall. You dig what I'm saying?
Or even if, like, let's say, you know, moms did everything
of
right,
course.
Everything right, I made it to the NFL. Like, all the people that I've touched in my life.
Of course.
As coaching and training, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people like meeting you, you know what I'm saying? Meeting my big brothers, people that's like giving me game that I make sure I teach the younger, anybody younger than me, like, hey, bro, how you doing? Like, I call my young people, hey, bro, you solid? What's going on? Everything good with your mentals? You know what I'm saying? So those people, like, you never know, just like, you never know who you've impacted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally don't like living in the past. I try to live in the now because this is what's now. You know what I'm saying? I stopped blaming my parents. You know, like, I personally feel like if you after 18, you blame your parents for shit after that.
Right.
That's kind of like
right. No, yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's my mama fault that.
No, it's not.
No, nigga,
no,
like,
it's not.
You could have went to work.
No, it's not. Absolutely.
You lost that job. Your mama didn't go there and lose that job.
Absolutely.
You beat your girl. Nobody beat your girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff is, you can heal yourself,
right,
bro.
Exactly. Yep.
Like, you don't have to fall into the same pit every time. You know, and once you stop blaming other people and start looking like, damn, what the fuck am I doing?
Right, exactly.
That keep giving me over there. I don't like going over there.
Right. I'm not interested.
Then you can change, like, all right, I'm ready to go that way. I'm just going to head this way and see what happens.
Sometimes, and this is what took me in therapy to learn, sometimes it made me realize, like, I was angry in life. You know, through those times that we were doing our thing, trying to get on. I remember always fighting with people. I always remember getting into arguments. I remember drinking and always fighting and I had to realize that where my anger was from. And I had to realize that I was angry, but I wasn't angry at my parents. I was angry at myself. I was angry at myself for making decisions in my life that brought me to the place that I was at that moment.
100%.
I was angry with decisions and things that I had done that I can either take back or I couldn't take back. And there's people that I mistreated, and there was things and situations that I abused, and there were certain situations, financial situations I made for myself, and just things that I've dug a hole in. And I realized where I wanted to be. And when I was not there, when I got into my 30s and like my late 30s, when I actually started going to therapy, I started therapy like almost a year and a half ago. When I started to really realize and tackle what these demons were, it was anger for myself. A lot of times they say you look in the mirror, you point, and you got fingers pointing back at you. I don't necessarily believe you need four fingers to point at you to know that you're the problem. The motherfucking problem is what staring at you. You dig what I'm saying? That's the motherfucking problem.
100%.
And I always tell my kids, I raise you to the best of my abilities to what I grew up. How you go out and raise your children is how you're going to do yours. But I'm going to raise you to the best of my abilities.
100%.
Am I going to have everything 100% correct? No. Absolutely not. I made mistakes with my oldest. I tried to come in and be the friend stepdaddy, and then I came in to be the hard ass stepdaddy, and then I came in to try to be the rescuing until I just realized, just be the dad. She don't need stop. She don't need that shit. Cause some personalities that's just not gonna go.
100%.
She doesn't respond well to stop this. Get your ass up. She don't respond to that. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that people respond to, and I don't want her to grow up with traumas and different things that I grew up with that, sometimes my parents made mistakes with, or different things like that. I don't want her to grow up like that and deal with some of the things that I deal with now. So I am going to do what I possibly can to, number one, take accountability for myself. But number one, I got to go figure out where this is, you know what I'm saying? I had to go figure out where this shit stemmed from. You know what I'm saying? I had to go figure out where this shit stemmed from. So I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit, man. We were, in deep in music. I remember us doing shows. I remember I had a show. That was my album release party, and I had you guys perform, and you guys did great, man. But when did you fall in love with hip hop, man? Like, what was your What was your upbringing with hip hop?
So it's funny, right? And I like I don't really, I didn't want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an arm. I wanted to be Usher. You feel me? Like I wanted to be Usher. I wanted to pop live.
Right.
I wanted to do that.
I could dig it.
I just couldn't sing. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't sing.
Yeah.
Truthfully, like, hey, I remember so when I was little, right? My grandmother, my mom, you know, my aunties, because we all lived in one big house. So literally my whole family lived in one house. Right. We grew up together.
Okay.
And they go, now coming to the stage.
Right.
And I'll literally sit there and sing Usher songs, Michael Jackson songs, dance.
Do that Usher joint.
And you didn't have to tell me to do it. I was the whole song.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just, you know, once I got older, and I started realizing, like, damn, I can't sing. It's not it.
The verdict, this ain't it. This ain't it. It's not for me. I did.
We didn't have no money for no
vocal
coaches.
Right. Yep.
So it was like, you know, but I was always in love with music. And then once I it's like 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah.
I started like trying to write music.
Right.
It was real.
You was trying to write music at 5th and 6th grade?
Yeah, 100%.
Damn.
So I kid you not, I was cold. Middle school, I used to write poems.
No shit.
Right? Kid you not.
You gotta think about it. A middle schooler is like 12, 13.
I probably
11, 12, 13. Yeah.
I probably wrote.
Somebody trying to write at 11, 12, 13. That's pretty tough.
I'm not saying this for the camera. I'm not. Bullshit aside, I probably wrote my first song at like 10.
Shit.
Because that's like I wanted to, that was my expression.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was my creative expression. Obviously, I played football and it was all rough and tough.
Yeah.
But that was my way of putting my emotions out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wanted to be a singer. So it was
right.
It was lovey-dovey bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At 10, you think everybody.
Right. Do you remember your first rap?
No.
Does anybody ever remember your first rap? You don't remember your first rap?
My first, like, written down.
Right.
Hell no. I think,
would you tell it if you remembered it?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. What? No, so I remember what it's about, though. So, the T.I. song, I do it.
Okay. Yeah.
My whole 2 pages of raps was I do it for and then family. I do it for mama. I do it for this. I do it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, so middle school, like, people would be like, hey, Malcom, write a poem. Like, my teachers would like, oh, you write? I'm good at creative writing. And then it got to the point where it was like, people would be like, hey, Malcom, can you make a poem about this?
Okay.
And I like freaked out about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it got to the point where it was just like, oh, can you rap?
Right.
And I'm like, well, shit, I can make both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just started rapping.
Right.
It was shit, I was good at it.
Yeah,
so
I
like,
did.
all right, cool. But like I didn't really like try to rap until like senior year
in high school. Yeah. I think I didn't try. For me, I didn't try to. I'll be honest with the world. My sister wrote my first rap. Swear on everything. But the funny thing is because I was making beats. Like I had a dude I used to know in high school. We was good friends at the time, and we started a group, and I was just supposed to be the beat guy. Like I didn't want to.
DJ Mustard.
Yeah. I didn't want to do this shit. I didn't want to be in front of it. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I knew personally, like I was never afraid of the moment. Like whenever I grew up on hip hop, like hip hop. My parents, my mom was a DJ Quick fan. My dad was, you know what I'm saying, and to Run DMC and the Fat Boys in LL and you know what I'm saying, Slick Rick and Dana Dane, like that was their era. So they grew up hip hop. Yeah, they grew up hip hop. I grew up around hip hop. My favorite group growing up was Crisscross. Can nobody tell me shit? You dig what I'm saying? Can nobody tell me shit? You know what I'm saying? So, but I was the best. I was always I was that older kid that was listening to the stuff that I should have been listening to back in the day, but I was. So I was exposed to music. I was exposed to hip hop. But when I got into it for real, I just wanted to be a beat maker at the time. So I made a couple beats here and there, and they was feeling them or whatever. And then he was like, "Man, just try to get on." So at first, I didn't know what the fuck to say. Like I didn't know how to rhyme. I didn't know how to formulate, rhymes. I didn't know how to formulate a sentence. And so my sister at the time, she's a writer. She's a pretty good writer actually. And she like wrote me a 16, and I'm like, I kind of told her what I wanted to be about, and then I delivered it. That was a thing. My whole thing was the delivery, because I can always be a showman. Like you were like a showman, I can be a showman. Yeah. I'm not scared of the moment. I can grab a microphone right now and speak in front of millions of people. I'm fine with that.
Perfectly fine.
And people don't understand. 100%. The people who don't understand that, they get like really intimidated. Like my wife is like, I don't know how the hell. Like Like, I like doing it. I love it. I love it. I don't know what it is. And again, my 3-year-old, she's the same way. She will take command of a room straight up. She's not afraid. She's not shy. Anything like that. And I dig shit like that. But I got into it. I couldn't tell you, like people sometimes say, I fell in love with hip hop over, I used to love her, or I fell in love with hip hop over. There's not one song that I can tell you that I fell in love with hip hop over. I fell in love with hip hop because it was the culture. It was, I seen 2 black kids do something cool that I wanted to do, wear their clothes 100%. Backwards, talk a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Just deliver things a certain way. And I wanted to do it with that same confidence and the same haircut, same style with braids. Unfortunately, I could never get the braids like I wanted to. But that's a whole nother story. But
I just recently got braids. Hey, growing up, my parents was not around it. I got old enough for exactly. It was grow my hair. I couldn't nobody tell me that.
I couldn't do that shit back in the day. I couldn't do that shit back in the day, but I couldn't tell you. But I fell in love with hip hop, man, just over time, man. Yeah, the music the R&B would fuse with music when it was New Jack Swing. Yeah, that was the greatest era of music to me is New Jack Swing, because it was R&B and hip hop fused together. You had Keith Sweat, you had Bobby Brown, which was my favorite. You had, you know what I'm saying, Teddy. You had these cats just producing this music out here. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I fell in love with Tupac. With not Red Tupac. That's the next question. But I fell in love with music. Yeah. And but we always talk about the GOATs. Tupac and Biggie. Me personally, I put Tupac and Biggie as a GOAT, and I put Pac above Biggie. I put Pac above Biggie because, and the only reason I put Pac above Biggie, is because Biggie only had 2 albums.
100%. I think that all the time.
If we count one as a double disc. But if you count Pac's, then his goes up because he has a double disc. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to music these days, bro, and I see that there is, and again, everybody, you listen to this podcast. See, the generalization of this podcast, and I've actually heard this feedback, is that I don't appreciate the hip hop that we have going on today, and that's not the case. The whole case is the people feel like I bash hip hop today, like I'm always attacking, and I'm always this. I don't see myself attacking music. I respect music. And if you watch the episode to where I said leave my hip hop alone, it was basically a generalization of this is not what I grew up on. Again, that train that I fucking missed, that train that I didn't get off on, where everybody just moved on in life, and I was stuck on them. I didn't grow up around this era where dudes was painting nails, and I didn't grow up in this era where dudes was allowed to wear skirts on stage, and dudes just allowed to be feminine, and you know what I'm saying, and girls is allowed to just go bust it open and bending over every time you see them. Ladies, I'm not saying that that's your prerogative. Do what you do.
He being nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit. Listen, I don't want to hear that shit because it's always the women bust it open and do all this other shit. Y'all is the most opinionated. Yeah. Call me what you want. Oh, well, I got a girl. I'm not chasing y'all. But, like, it's always the ones that's like that. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting so excited.
But that's it, man. Do your thing, man. Talk your talk, man.
Like, if you gonna rap. That's how I see it. If you gonna rap. If you gonna do rock. If you go, like, I understand men been talking about sex and all this other. I understand women empowerment. I get all of that.
Right.
I'm not saying that is. But I'm just saying, like, I have a daughter. Y'all supposed to be role models. If every female rapper is talking about sucking dick and twerking with their ass out, who the fuck is my daughter supposed to listen to?
Right.
My daughter can't listen to Mary J. She's not trying to hear Mary J.
She's not trying to hear Mary J.
She's trying to go see what Sexy Red and Meg Thee Stallion them talking about. But it's like, damn, I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
Like, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Y'all take away y'all power. I get all that.
Right.
Can y'all make, for every song y'all got twerking and all the others, can y'all make a good rap song?
Right.
That's just how I see it.
Right. But so that's a great question. That's a great question. I'm gonna hit you back with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you back with this because because to me, wrong is wrong. End of the day, wrong is wrong. And if that's what you want to do, I'm not saying. Well, I'm saying it. Wrong is wrong. I don't believe it. I don't believe it should be happening. So yeah, in my opinion, it's wrong. You dig what I'm saying? But we've had over the years of men bashing women in music.
Yeah.
You remember the Gin and Juice video where the girl in the end, because she didn't want to talk to the dude, all niggas poured the 40 ounces on her. You dig what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have been dogging women in music for years. And I think it's more of a shock these days because women are taking their power back because they're going to make a man demean himself.
Yeah.
They will talk about how small your genitalia is and 100%. Humiliate you and emasculate you. And I think it poses a threat to us. And that's why we come back and say, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing this kind of shit. And I get it. Personally, it's like I don't listen to that music, but outward, I'm like, these motherfuckers just getting back what they put out. That's what I'm saying. Years ago,
and I 100%.
It's a double-edged sword. Yeah. You really don't know what angle to take because again, wrong is wrong.
100%.
We really don't know.
I get why you're doing it. Yeah. I personally don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's personal.
I personally am not gonna put on that album because I'm not doing none of the things you're talking about, baby. Like, I can't relate to shit you said.
Exactly. Do you believe, because I always hear, if Pac and Big was around, and this one happened, do you think it would have ever made a difference if they were here?
So I have this conversation a lot, actually, with my homie, Kevin. Me and my homie Kevin, we talk a lot about music, right? He's a big music head. I don't.
You don't think so? I don't think so either.
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, it's growth. You know what I'm saying? This is a hot take.
Yeah,
nobody being mad at me. Right? I personally don't think that Biggie's impact would be as big as if he didn't die.
Right.
Because I love Biggie. Biggie probably got the coldest flow of all time.
Of course.
His flow is crazy. But what impactful songs was Biggie trying to make?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I love Biggie's still my top 4. Don't get it confused.
Of course.
But I'm saying it's not saying that Biggie's not one of the greatest rappers of all time. Right. But when you think of impact, when you say Biggie was making music with the flow.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like how music was going, Biggie was going with it. He just was at the top of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was the Drake connection.
Right.
It was like it's going this way, so he over there. But he just was better than everybody over there.
Right, exactly.
With Pac, I don't think it would have stopped. I think Pac would have had more of an impact.
Right.
It'd be different, but I don't think you could stop where it went and where it's at now. I don't think, truthfully, this is just me, right? Because I like new music. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I definitely understand where you're coming from, though.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No,
I definitely understand where you're coming from. But I try to listen to the song of it. Every song don't hit like they used to.
Right.
But it's because, we know, that's because every rapper think they can go in the booth and just freestyle. Mm-hmm. Write some of y'all songs down. It's not gonna hurt y'all.
I want y'all to understand this. What this man just said. Okay. Understand what this man just said. Okay. Biggie. Jay-Z came out years ago and said he doesn't write. Right? He doesn't write music. And there's been witnesses in the studio to show that he does not write music. I've heard people say he'd be in the studio and just close his eyes and
go crazy.
And then he's like, run it. That's a special format.
100%.
You have to have been through some shit in life to and know a lot of things and be very, very smart and articulate and be very, very educated to be able to do something like that.
You got to be the 1%.
Exactly. The people that come out now, you obviously see that they do not write their bars. No. And if they write their music, they write it in the studio. And so there's no time to sit and harp. There's no time to sit and look and revisit and take this out and take this out. They just spew whatever comes out of their mouth. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad I have somebody here who understands the quality and the beauty of writing music. You have to write your bars. you have to, and if you're not gonna write your bars, have somebody write them for you, but write them with some substance behind it, because we're tired of hearing how many cars you have.
100%.
We're tired of hearing how many chicks you could take down. We're tired of hearing how many niggas you can get to eat your ass or whatever it is that y'all do out here. I'm just speaking on what y'all young folks say out here. I mean, you know, I'm not.
100%.
That's raw to say, but I'm just saying this is what y'all say.
Yeah.
So, you know, 90% of the music I hear, y'all talk about somebody eating your ass. You know what I'm saying, or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or some dudes. Yeah.
Everybody a shooter.
Right. Oh yeah. Everybody's a shooter. Everybody can pull a hammer. Everybody can do this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We get it. But when you get to, and I'm not saying that everything has to have, you know, there's some music that you do have to make for audiences for you know, dance purposes and for, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you come with some quality of music, see, the thing is with Biggie, bro, Biggie to me created a lifestyle. Biggie was about the luxury lifestyle. He was about the flyness. He had the Coogee sweaters, the Timberlands, the white jeans, the cane. You know what I'm saying? The Versace glasses, the big Versace shirt. Well, they didn't even make Versace shirts to nigga size at all. Same with Big Pun. They didn't even make Versace shirts their sizes. But it was a lifestyle that he created. So he created this, you know, it was talking about Benzes and you know, stuff like that. And he would talk about the hardest lines that Biggie has is when he was talking about when he was selling crack. If you compare it to Pac, I don't really like to compare, but if you compare it to Pac had went through life. Pac had seen some shit. He was so conscious. He had grew up with a mother who, you know, who had him in jail. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand. Y'all have to understand. We'll get to this, but you have to understand, man. Like when a woman is pregnant, you have to understand and know how important the environment around a woman makes that baby.
100%.
Because there's certain things that a woman goes through that sends chemicals in her body that reaches the baby. So if a woman is stressed, the baby is gonna feel stress. If a woman is on drugs, that baby is gonna feel those drugs. If a woman is, you have to understand that. So you got to think about the stress that his mom was going through when she was in jail pregnant with him, not knowing if she's going to get killed, not knowing if 100%. What's going to be her fate, not knowing if she's ever going to get out. So this man was born in a damn struggle. He 100%. Was born in stress. You do what I'm saying? 100%. So that's how he, and little do you know, you be thinking he was just a baby. No, this is the energy this man was born with. So you have to understand the impact that he's going to have for future generations. Just if he was going to use it right, which he did. If the things that he was going to go through in life was what he was born from. You know what I'm saying? And he was born from that. So when I say, I don't mean to cut you off, but when I say, do I think this generation would have been changed? I don't think so, because these cats don't listen to nobody 100%. Out here. These young cats don't listen to nobody. Ain't no OGs in the game no more. You know what I'm saying?
If they not listening to Kendrick,
no.
If they wasn't listening to Nipsey,
right?
They're not listening. They're not listening.
No.
And I hate to say it, like, because I do love music.
Right.
I love the art of music. I understand the new music. I'm not saying I don't listen to new music. I understand the new music. I understand why you doing it, but I just think back in the day it was about the art. Right now it's about money.
Right. It's a money grab. And then the old folks who try to go and deal with the young folks, they broke. So they got to conform to what the young folks is doing, because they're the ones who paying them to get on their records. They're paying 100%. Them to get on their songs. 100%. So therefore, there are no teachable moments. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
There is no teachable moments.
It's just fucked up.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just fucked up.
It's just what it is. Yeah. I mean,
I get it. But
you understand what I'm saying? It's just the whole situation overall. It's done. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody wants instant gratification.
Right. That's instant gratification. Yeah. Right, exactly. Let me say, did you get a chance to watch that Dear Mama documentary? Did you get a chance?
I did not.
You did not? Okay. I would suggest you watch that. And I would suggest you watch that because it's not the typical what happened to Pac. It's not. They're not gonna harp on how he died, where he died, how many people were there.
It's not the like.
It's not the typical who shot Biggie, who shot Pac documentary. This documentary, man, is so powerful, and it took me a very, very long time to watch it. Me and my cousin Vincent, we don't like to watch things on Pac because we like to think that Pac continues to just, you know what I'm saying? He left the impact on us the way he left the impact 100%. On us. So we kind of are tired of seeing how he died, and you know. But I don't want to give too much away. But man, this documentary does something for you if you're an artist. If you're an artist, I would really suggest that you really watch. The way that they did this brother's vocals, they isolated his vocals. But they didn't isolate it in a way that you heard effects behind it. You know how you hear that reverb if somebody isolates vocal? I see the changes, and you hear that echo behind it. They isolated it when he's in the studio. So you can hear his clothes ruffling.
The raw.
You can hear his jewelry shaking. You can hear, and it's just something about it. It's like raw. Yeah. It's so raw, man. And it's so it's so impactful and it's so inspiring for you to see, man. So I would really suggest you watching that. But going back to the whole, do I think, again, I personally don't think that there would have been like you said, there's no, I don't believe there's really no.
Every game is going to change.
Of course.
Every game's going to evolutionize. You know, how we feel about basketball now is how old folks felt about, our older folks felt about basketball that we was watching. It's always gonna be the same thing, you know what I'm saying? I always try to understand everything. But it's crazy to me. So this is what's crazy to me. Like, when I talk to people about Pac, right? I think people fail to realize like how young Pac actually was.
Absolutely. He's only 25 years old.
People forget that he died at 25.
Yeah. So it's like only 25 years old.
That he was going through all these great rap songs came when he was 19, 20, 21. 19, 20, 21, bro, like, you ain't even met your growth yet. Like, I just turned 29. I'm turning 30 in February. Yeah. And I still understand, like, as a almost 30-year-old, that I ain't even fully grown yet.
Do you know your brain is not fully developed until you're, I want to say 30s? Don't quote me. But I have a homeboy who's a family therapist, and he said your brain is not fully developed until you're in, like, your late 30s. So, mind you, this brother was doing all this stuff out here, making this big impact, going through all these cases, going through everything he's been through. He's only 25. He died at 25, but he was doing all this. This was younger than that. 20, 21, 22. Think about where you were at 21 and 22. What were you doing at 21, 22? Were you getting hemmed up at going across the street trying to get money at the bank? Were you getting hemmed up trying to save a black man from getting beat up by two white men? Were you getting him? You know what I'm saying? Were you getting shot back at? Were you getting beat? We weren't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I tell people all the time.
That's a lifetime of shit this man had to go through.
I was a young man. I was a kid that was making them songs. Brenda's Got Baby changes. And for him, so like I do think that if he would have stayed alive, I don't think it'd be this far along. But I think eventually, it's always gonna go back to
I say this, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not, I don't think he would have ever lived long.
I don't think so either.
I think he was too smart. I think he knew way too much, given where his family history is, Black Panthers. He was too knowledgeable for this out here. So if that shit didn't happen, and that wasn't what God had, the plan for him, I don't think he would have been alive too much longer than that.
No, I just wish he never became a street nigga. That's what I'll tell you.
He didn't become a street nigga until he got to LA.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Listen, if you are a rapper, bro, if you are watching this and you are not from LA,
stay out of LA.
Not the place to come.
Stay away from LA.
I hate to tell you this, we don't give a fuck
No.
These
Anybody
niggas
can
killing
get it in LA,
everybody,
man.
bro. Don't get it confused. It's not just
Oh
rappers.
my God, man.
Everyday niggas.
Yes.
So don't think that. Nah.
I'm
It's
telling
everybody. Don't stay your ass out of LA.
Everybody come to LA thinking there's gonna be palm trees,
Yeah, all right,
and beaches and Hollywood and this and that.
Yes, 100%.
A lot of motherfuckers be strung out on drugs. Go to Skid Row, go to downtown, go to Sunset, go to Venice Beach, go to anywhere you go. It's a lot of the same niggas that came out here thinking they're gonna be big stars that ended up like that out there, or they ended up in a gang, or they ended up killed, or they ended up getting somebody killed because they're trying to affiliate or do some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not in their neck of the woods where they was born.
2 quick stories, right? I'm not gonna say no names because at the end of the day, some of these people is big in the industry.
I got you.
So, first story, right? I got a homie. He's a gang member. He's not a regular gang member.
Right.
He's like top level.
OG.
Like, they don't understand this level. This gang.
Yeah, of course.
Like, this nigga got dope.
Right.
And he was telling me how he was in the club one time, right? And he VIP with some big time top chart rappers, and they in the other section, right? And so they're doing the other section, because his girl bad. He started talking to the homie girl. So the homie had to tell him, like, hey, bro, like, shit not sweet over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say like what part of the city. I'm not gonna say.
Of course.
But the dude was like, like, hey, bro, like, understand, nigga, like, you got 100 racks on me. I got 100 racks on me. Right. But I also got 2 guns on me. I understand the life that I'm living.
I understand where this shit can go. Yeah.
So, and then the second story was, I got a homie who hang out with a big time singer, right? And so he said we was in the club one time, right? He said we in the club, bro. We chilling, we VIP. He said the nigga get up. Nigga, who is these niggas? Who they staring at? This and that, right?
Shit.
And all of his homies is hood niggas. Mind you, this singer is not from out here.
Right.
Like, all his homies is hood niggas. So they first thing is, nigga, who?
Right.
He said we sitting there and we like, he go, nigga, they looking at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know who you are, nigga. Exactly. Yeah, they gonna look at you like, well, you need to calm your ass down. You get somebody killed.
Of course.
So yeah, LA is not the place to, like, obviously rest in peace to Pop Smoke, rest in peace PNB Rock, Nipsey, like, understand that LA is just not that place, bro. Like I said, they killing regular people. They killing regular niggas.
They kill their own.
$200.
Yeah.
You think they're not gonna kill you for 200,000, nigga? You crazy.
They know. I mean, the amount of intelligence they have to know for where these people gonna be and all this. You would think these motherfuckers they work for some type of agency or some shit. How that? Okay, what's gonna be over here? He coming with it. I just think that we can use our time doing better. 100%. We can be so much richer.
All of this energy,
all this shit, y'all motherfuckers could be really put on all these scams, these credit card scams and shit that they be running out here and all kind of shit. Y'all motherfuckers could be millionaires if you just take that knowledge that you have and apply it somewhere that's gonna pay you for the shit. Crime don't pay.
Listen,
that's the thing. Here's the thing. Crime don't pay. You pay for crime. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one who pays for crime. It don't pay. You 100%. Pay it. You know what I'm saying?
My cousin told me, and I don't know, we got to keep going to the next subject. My cousin told me one time, right, and shit fucked my mind up, right? Because, like, I'm big Nipsey Hussle.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
And the nigga told me, he told me this earlier this year. He said, Malcom, niggas listen to Nipsey Hussle, but they not listening to Nipsey Hussle.
No.
When I tell you it fucked me up so much, because I started sitting back, and every time I listen to him, I'm like, damn, that nigga, like, he really said, because niggas really not listening to him. Like, don't listen to it because it's hard. Like, listen to what that nigga's saying. Bro.
Right,
like,
of course.
He giving you the game.
Of course.
It's right there.
Right. What's your favorite Nipsey song?
My favorite Nipsey song?
If you had to give one.
Face the World.
Face the World?
Face the World. It's up and downs.
Right.
Nigga. But you gonna be lame all your life. Hey, that's my favorite. That whole song, every time that song come on my playlist, that's old Crenshaw album.
Of course.
Every time that song come on, I probably listen 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Wherever I'm driving to, I'm listening to that song on repeat over and over again, and I'm gonna say every word.
Face the World is dope. That's one of my favorite songs. I think if I had to if there's 1,000 Nipsey songs 100%. I can name, but if I had to give one, Blue Lace is one.
I heard that one. I just
Blue Lace is one. I mean, just the melody, just everything he was saying, man. Just and the same thing he said in the song is the way he went out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Nipsey Hussle made me understand the power of your words.
Absolutely.
Because he manifested his success, he manifested his rise, and he manifested his death.
Yep. That's the code. He's one of the ones that he's like a Kobe. Like it's not one of those ones you just really just gotta get over. It's kind of one of those like it still low key hurts. Like because you saw his potential. You've seen this man. You've seen him trying to create businesses and create jobs and create things for the community. And unfortunately, LA eats its own. Unfortunately, 100%. I mean everywhere eats its own. But I heard Boosie say that 90% of the time when rappers get killed, they kill them in the city. Mm-hmm. And then LA is a little more treacherous when we out here because you know what I'm saying. We'll take out our own. We
take out the good people. Like other cities, there's people that's protected.
Right.
It's nobody protected.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And that's saying a lot because like I grew up in Long Beach. I done seen Snoop Dogg in Long Beach. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen his kids come to Long Beach.
Right.
And I done seen how they treated his kids.
Right.
So if this is the person that's putting Long Beach on, and y'all not even treating his kids with respect.
Right.
Oh yeah, I know how y'all feel about everybody else. Mm-hmm. I know how everybody else got to move. Mm-hmm. I remember I watched Dave East and Nipsey. No, Dave East said like he checks in with Nipsey when he got it.
Absolutely.
And Nipsey said I check in with Dave East. He's like, it's not a check in like as a
it's just a respect thing.
Safe? He's like, hey bro, like I'm around.
Like, right. What's good with it? Like
what do I need to know?
Exactly. What's my environment?
Out here riding around block.
Right.
Like PNB Rock. Not to cut you off.
No, you good.
PNB Rock. The Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles that he got killed at.
Nobody goes to that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. That's the again. And I'm gonna cut you off.
Worst of the.
That's the worst. I've been saying that forever, dude.
That's the worst.
That's not the one you go to. I've been there, my nigga. I remember one time I went there at night. We had just got out of a show from I forgot where we was coming from. We had just got out of a show, and it was like, yo, let's stop at the Roscoe's. This is the one that got the bars on the windows. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not even the one you really
even from the bullshit McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. You do not go to that one. You go to one on Sunset. You go to one. You know what I'm saying? One's a little safer. One in Long Beach. One's a little safer. You don't go to that one. But again, you can't come to LA in a Phantom, park it up the street from people who are in a very poor, poverty-stricken, you know what I'm saying, area. And you can't come in there showing off your jewelry and your girl and all this because you have niggas that want to test you. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this is not the place to test your gangster. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a gangsters. This is where the shit started. You dig what I'm saying? This is not the place to come and check your gangster. So anybody listening out there, man, I hope you stay safe when you riding around LA and you riding around in general. Always be aware.
Just do shit.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Always be aware. Always know your surroundings. Always know what neighborhood you in. Always know what. Okay, I know these. You know, if you're not supposed to
be over there,
right.
Over there.
Exactly.
It's just simple as that. I mean,
and that's what it was growing up. But I think, so we're talking about just regular niggas hitting licks. Mm-hmm. Do you think gangbanging is lighter today than it was? Okay, I know I'm the only one who's tripping. Okay, I see full on bloods wearing all blue and all straight up, Crips wearing all red. I'm seeing it. I'm like,
society is nice all the way around.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember being 10, 11.
And you couldn't go.
Niggas banging on me.
Right. You couldn't go nowhere. Like, I remember my dad be like, hey, yo,
don't go.
You can't wear that red. You couldn't. You know what I could never get? British Knights. Never could get British Knights. My dad will never let me get them.
It's possible.
Ever.
My dad is a member.
Yeah.
A full-fledged Crip.
Okay.
Red. Pops, can I get these red? Never mind, my bad. You're right. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It was that. I mean, you get your head blown off for wearing the wrong colors and shit. But I go to, you know what I'm saying? Like certain neighborhoods and stuff. You know, I've been in certain neighborhoods I go to. I'm like, man, this shit done changed, bro. This shit done changed, my nigga. Yeah, of course.
But
yeah.
It's like. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
A lot of people more living.
Oh yeah,
you can walk around a little better.
Death was high in the 80s and 90s when gangbang goes.
100 days, 100 nights. Like I was telling people, like, bro, it's some shit that I remember. Like, but they was telling niggas, you can't go outside.
I forgot about 100 days, 100 nights.
I can't go outside.
Yep, you couldn't even go outside.
13, I can't go play basketball.
100 nights. Yep, I remember that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all youngsters, y'all don't know about 100 Days, 100 Nights.
You know what I'm saying? Remember that?
Break down 100 Days, 100 Nights for them, please.
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I just know it was 100 Days, 100 Nights. Everybody was killing everybody. For some reason, all the gangs just decided to beef the whole summer. Like, I'm from Long Beach, right? Mm-hmm. And Long Beach is, so if you don't know Long Beach is a full, like, there's no Bloods in Long Beach. It's all Crips, right? It's two big Crip gangs that beef. You know, the 20s and the NCs. They really, the only, I ain't gonna say the only two, because there's a bunch of gangs out there, but they the two biggest gangs that beef throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, in my city, which I personally do not like, is very racial wars.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big racial war. I hate it. You know, I have a lot of Mexican, you know, my brothers, I call them my brothers, my peoples. And I remember it was days that, you know, you just can't even hang out with your homie. 13 years old, what you mean I can't go over here and play soccer with little... Right. Because his uncle tripping? Right. And it was... And they'll kill you, bro. Like, 100%. Yeah, like, I got homies that they just killed because they killed them. Right. They was shooting up family parties, not OG gangster.
No, it was no... Yeah, it was... Yeah.
And that's just how it was. So the summers was scary, bro. Growing up. You know, I think... Yeah. But yeah, gangbanging is definitely... I'm pretty sure it's still full-fledged. Niggas still like
of course.
Still getting robbed, but
it's not as it was in our parents' time. Like your dad and my dad and our parents, like it 80s and 90s was nothing to play with.
Shit, it ain't even as intense as the early 2000s.
Right, yeah, even early 2000s. Even early 2000s, yeah. It's digital gangbanging now.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know that stuff created, you know, a lot of traumas and different things that we grew up with. And I'm, you know, me, I'm a big mental, you know, health awareness person. Like I always try to just make sure that, you know, the next black man is doing all right with his mental. I'm huge on that, man. There's no secret that I go to therapy currently. I've been to previous therapy, you know, therapists and different things that I've had to go through just for my own personal, you know what I'm saying, my own personal life discovery and journeys and different things that I had to go through to find out who I was now. And I'm still going through that. You know, I don't think you're ever done growing until you dead. You dig what I'm saying? There's no formula to ever figure out. You got life figured out. I got this figured out. I got that figured out. And I had to really I had to really understand that I don't have everything figured out. But what I had to realize is that it's okay.
100%.
It's okay to not have everything figured out. Because my biggest problem that I have is I have almost like this control type of thing that happened with me. I had to have everything under control. I had to know where this was going. I like structure, doing this and that. And if one thing is thrown off, then my entire... You know what I'm saying? Equilibrium was thrown off. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was trickling down to my family, down to my wife. It was affecting my marriage. It was affecting my children. It was affecting my personal everyday, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. And it's not a big thing in our community. Therapy and mental health is not a big... It's starting to become more of a trendy thing in our community, but it's not as big as you would think it is. I think we would get a lot farther in life if everybody just went to therapy. I think therapy and God, and you know what I'm saying? I think those are the biggest things you can ever have. I'll switch it back. God and therapy. Those are the biggest factors that you need in your life, I think, personally, to try to, you know what I'm saying? If you're going through something, or even if you're not, you just want a self-discovery. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that. Can you speak on if you've ever had to deal with anything like that, or, you know what I'm saying, anybody in your life that you've seen go through stuff like that, that you're okay with sharing?
100%. I'm 100%. I've always been big on self-love, right? It's funny, right? So like, I was a psychology major in college. Okay. Right? So I didn't start seeing shit until I was all the way in Kentucky studying this shit and then realizing like, so like a lot of people don't understand like the depression signs for women that are always on TV about her being sad and that's completely different from men. Yeah. Like completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like erratic behavior, like reckless behavior, not trying to go home. All of those things are signs of depression for men. Wow. Okay. Right? And that's something that I didn't know until I went out there. And then I started looking back on myself, right? And I'm not making this up. I went back at myself like, damn, high school, I used to never want to go home. That's why at the end of the day, that's why I was good at football. I'm not trying to go home. I'd rather play football all day, train and work out because it ain't no food at the crib.
Right.
TV don't even work. I'm about to go in here and sit down. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what's the point of going over there?
Right.
Like I'd rather stay here and catch a football.
Right.
I'd rather stay here and run a route or work out. So when you see stuff like that, like PTSD, you know what I'm saying? The signs for PTSD in men are different from women.
Of course.
But they don't say those things. Like men don't know.
Right.
Like this, bro, you have PTSD. This is a condition, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know an older dude that got shot 12 times. Nigga walked up on his car, shot him. Boom, boom, boom. Damn. You can't walk behind that man.
Right.
He has PTSD.
Right.
Like if you walk behind him, he's
liable
to put a gun on you because
he's, of course.
Like
he's traumatized.
He's traumatized.
Yeah, he's traumatized.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, we don't, like, as black men, right, we don't understand that, like, it's okay to go figure some shit out, right? Like, unfortunately, a lot of my self, reflection came when I was in prison. Because now you don't have shit to do but sit there and think, damn, what the fuck did I do wrong?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you start realizing like certain people that you got. So you know what I'm saying? Like my biggest thing when I came home was me. You know what I'm saying? Me. I don't do anything if I don't want to do it. Don't care who it is. You guys, my mama, you guys, my daddy. They gonna tell you straight up. If Malcolm don't want to do it, he gonna say no.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can't help you, guess what you gonna get?
Right.
Nah.
Right. Exactly.
Can I get $20? I don't got it.
Yeah. Right.
But you got 100. Yeah.
Right. But I don't got that. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Like I forgave myself, and that's like a big thing. I think like
that's huge.
Yeah, 100%.
It's huge.
And I stopped blaming my mama. Stopped blaming my daddy. I stopped blaming myself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a lot of things like as black men we struggle with. We blame ourselves. We forget to forgive ourselves. We so caught up on fuck. I remember, man, 6 years ago, nigga, I had like 100 racks, and it'd be like, I fucked it up.
Right.
All right, bro, but it's over with.
Always harping on things that we can't change. Always 100%. Harping on things that we've made mistakes on.
100%.
We don't really realize that it's okay to make a mistake. Do you know how many, and I hate to say this, but do you know how many white men make mistakes? How many times they take their family through debt? How many times they go bankrupt? How many times they, you know what I'm saying? And they go through these things. They go through these things just like us, but they're not considered traumatic experiences to them. That's just considered a downfall of their life. But it's not a stain on them. It's a stain on a black man if he's got to go through not having a job. It's a stain on a black man if he's went to prison. It's a stain on a black man if he doesn't have enough money to feed his child. It's a stain. It's a stain, and it's a stain. It's a societal stain, and it's a stain that we place on ourselves.
100%. I tell black people all the time, bro. I am the most cocky, confident person in the world.
Of course,
but
you have to.
I don't have an ego.
Right.
Like,
my wife says the same thing.
Once
I don't have an ego.
Away ego.
Yeah.
Like it's people out here getting killed because they ego.
Yeah.
I got a homie that not too long ago got killed because of his ego. I got people that and you see it every day. Once you detach from your ego, from nigga, I'm the biggest, baddest nigga in the world.
Right.
I don't care, bro.
Right. Exactly.
I'm a gangster. That's cool.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
That's cool, my nigga. Like at the end of the day.
Right. And that's what I say all the time. Like I say, when people come out here and they do all of these things and they got to let the world know that they're trans, and then they got let the world know that you can pull a hammer and you got the world. What the fuck does that mean for me? It didn't change my world. You know what I'm saying? Cool, I still have a light bill due. Yep. I still have a car payment to make. I still have to figure out how to get my kids to school, how we gonna eat next week, how we gonna.
100%.
This means that 100%. Shit means nothing.
100%.
It means nothing. Your personal growth is your personal growth, whether it's not a growth or whether it is. But it doesn't impact. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like it doesn't impact. And I think it's funny how you bring up depression. Like I had to realize that when I went to therapy, my therapist related to me when he asked me, "Do you know why you're depressed at times?" I said, "No."
Mhm.
I don't know why. I don't know why. And I'm looking for them. Sometimes you're thinking that you're looking for this. You're trying to go back
Mhm.
and you're looking at stories and you think about what you've been through in your
Mhm.
life and you're like, did this happen? Well, something happen to me when I was a kid?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Was I this or was I that?
Start
Or
going deep into
you
your
start trying to go
subconscious.
deep and start thinking about it, and nothing.
Mhm.
And he said, "Do you understand that's okay?
Mhm.
Do you understand that's okay that you don't know why you're in this mood?"
Mhm.
Because I would be frustrated that I was depressed. They didn't know why I was
Mhm.
depressed. But you had to understand it's okay.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like it's okay. It was okay not like the things that you've been through, the traumas you've been through. Like it's okay. And
Mhm.
when you start to realize, like you said, you have to go do some time and sit down and realize, like, yo, what I've been through. First off, let me forgive myself for doing this shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Let me forgive whatever the situation was that I was in, and when I get back out here, that's when the change will
Mhm.
happen. Not gonna be perfect.
Mhm.
Not gonna change a day after. It's not gonna change a week after. But you're gonna eventually start to see that
Yeah, hundred
change.
percent.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it's I always feel like I'm big on, like I always tell everybody, bro. Like everybody who know me know, like I'm gonna tell them straight up, bro. It's okay to feel the way you're feeling.
right,
Like I hate when, damn nigga,
right,
all right, bro, feel that way.
right, right,
You mad, nigga? Be
right,
mad. There's nothing
right,
wrong with being
right,
mad. There's nothing
right.
wrong with being happy, bro. There's nothing wrong with like
Exactly.
feel that shit. Okay, bam. This is what it is. Like understand your emotions. I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people like understand your poison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I know what type of nigga I am.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to put myself in positions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? If you don't
Exactly.
understand your triggers, right?
Right.
Like if you don't understand, like, boom, this is the triggers. Like I
Right.
see that, I'm gonna go over there and do this.
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna go over there. I'm not
Exactly.
even gonna see it.
Right.
I'm gonna look this way. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just simple stuff like
Right.
that. Like you, truthfully. So this is what a nigga told me in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'll write down, right? Get a piece of paper, write down all the qualities of a nigga that you would look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Wrote down every single quality, what the nigga look like, what he got,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he said, right? He said, so you write down everything. He was like, now I need you to start. He's like, now act like that person.
Right.
He said, act like that person.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you ain't got to be him right now,
Mm-hmm.
but act like that person. What would that person do in a situation?
Right.
He said, once you act like that person for
Mm-hmm.
so long, a person becomes you.
Right.
You know, and that's what I try to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand my aggressions.
Right.
I understand who I am. So it's like if I'm in a situation and I know shit about to start going left,
Separate yourself.
yeah, I'm just gonna head over here.
Right.
You got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My ego not big enough. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Because
Like,
what we were talking about earlier before we started filming is like, you know, we get into these situations and we realize where we could take it.
yeah, 100%.
And then you start to, but if you are a mindful man
mm-hmm.
and you seek a higher purpose and you know you can take your ego out. So kind of, piggybacking off that, like we were saying, you know, at certain times when we want to react a certain type of way out here, we have to, think twice. Again, who's going to be there for your kids if you pop off in the streets? You got to be, and then unfortunately, sometimes we don't have the best advance, especially when it comes to getting in trouble with the law. We don't have the greatest chances of seeing the brighter side or the lighter side of charges and lighter side of things, because systemic and the color of our skin prevails through all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be just a little bit more mindful than others in the streets, man. So I gotta wrap it up, man, but
quick question for you before we move on, right? Because you talking about the self-awareness, the self-growth, and all
absolutely,
that stuff,
please. I don't get many questions, so I appreciate
I know this answer, right? And did you lose a lot of friends the more healed you got? Like when you start elevating yourself, right? Did you lose friends?
Yeah,
100%. I talk about all the time.
Yeah, I had, and that's the thing. There's some times in life, man, where you start to grow in certain things, and you start to look back at the people that your circle, right? And when you can't do certain things, I have kids. We both have, you know, kids. We both have relationships. You can't just do certain things, and that's not even just the reason why you can't. You can't be out here in these streets as a dad doing these certain things. Like to me, like for me personally, like if I go with my boys and there's one single man in the group, like the only dudes that I kick it with are pretty much married men, and I surround myself with married men because 9 times out of 10. Ain't nobody in our group finna be trying to check at no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got to play no awkward wingman role. Because I personally think being a wingman is disrespectful, you know, to your relationship. But nobody has to be put in those types of situations. It's an environment that I continue to put myself in. When you're growing and when you're changing and when you have these different things that you go through in life, having kids, been through, you know, traumatic issues that force you not to live that life you used to live anymore, you're obviously going to lose a lot of people along the way.
Just because your ideas change.
Your idea, absolutely.
Your idea of going out and having fun is completely different.
Absolutely.
I just want to go out and have fun.
Right.
Dance, get drunk, listen to music all day.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I said that I used to be, you couldn't find no club where I wasn't in. There was no club in Orange County that you didn't know that I wasn't in. If I was in that motherfucker, I was in there, and everybody knew it. In there. Yeah. I knew the promoters. I knew the girls that was gonna be there. I knew the DJs. I walked in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? I never really waited in lines in clubs. I'm not, you know, toot my own horn or nothing like that, because the club is nothing to be like 100%. I got juice in. Well, back then, you know what I'm saying? It was the shit, like, you know what I'm saying? You're right. I ain't got shit. That's nothing. What the does this mean? Me walking in here and not having to pay and not having 10 people with me and I'm just walking. Means nothing. Means nothing. Right. This means nothing at the end of the day. A lot of things that you thought were like, damn, nigga, this shit finna be. It's nothing. 100%. It means nothing. Jordans mean nothing. I bring it up with Jordans. Like people use Jordans as this like tier. Like you have to rock these Jordans to be tiered. Nigga, I wish I would pay $500 for a damn pair of shoes. You know how many this is the old man and dad speaking. You know how many damn diapers that is? $500 worth of diapers. You know how expensive diapers is? Nigga, like, you know that you need. Exactly. Diapers now, if you can come, of course 100%. I love Jordans. If I can come up on them, I'm getting them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way that I'm going to go. Yeah. You know if I don't get out the store, I'm not going to and I'm little boo boo over here. Exactly. Because the stuff just doesn't mean stuff like that to me 100%. Anymore. And it's just, and then going back, it's just that you can keep it as simple as that. But the things that kind of held me and hindered me, the things that I thought that were like made you somebody in life, means absolutely shit. It means absolutely shit to these days. And the people that you, even the company that you kept back in the day, it means absolutely shit. I hung out with, you know, celebrities back in the day. I hung out with cats. I've been to tables and table readings. I've been to, you know, and back of and clubs and comedy clubs and different people. I've been there but it means nothing. 100%. Stature and status means nothing. And as when you continue to grow in life and you continue to go through, you know, things, and you go through life and you have kids and you know, you're saying you go through real life shit, you realize a lot of the people who are around you weren't even there for you. They were there for the ride. They were there to ride your coattails to see what they can get out of you. And even if they weren't doing that, they're still at a point in their life where they're not trying to elevate and they're not trying to grow, and that's fine. I just keep you on the back end. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use you for yeah. If that's going out, homie, exactly. I'm gonna go out with him. One of my cousins said, know where to place people in your life. 100%. Know where to place people in your life. Know what this person brings to the table, and know what they're for, and then keep your expectation there. Don't set your expectation because you change thinking that somebody else is gonna change. 100%. You cannot be mad. And you can't sit up and get mad at these people because they are who they are because you changed. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? All the time. It doesn't work that way. You have to give yourself a little bit of, you have to give yourself that credit, but also understand you were in this place not too long ago.
And that's why I asked you that question, because I always tell people, like, bro, like, when you start doing stuff better for you, you start moving for you start, like, if people gonna fall off. You know, I always give them the analogy of, like, when you see a spaceship takes off, right, at a certain point, the rocket can't go with it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The rocket got him there, but at a certain point, the rocket got to come on back. They're going, and you're gonna take off from there. Right. Like, understand that sometimes this shit happens.
Exactly. And that's just what it is. Yeah. That just be what it is, man. Yeah. Life is. I hate the saying life is gonna life, but that's just what it is. I hate that saying, but it's the truth, my nigga. Like, it's really the truth. That's just 100%. What it really is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? My last two questions for you, man. What's more important to you, man? What's more important in life? Do you think if you were to die today, right? What's more important to you? Leaving values or leaving a legacy? Now, I'll separate it, and I like to break this question down. That, to me personally, values is something that live on forever. Legacy is something that lives on forever. Are you going to be the example, like the visual legacy, or do you want to leave an impact mentally? What's more important to you? The visual of how you were shown or how you presented yourself to whoever you make an impact to, or what you teach them? What do you think is more important?
I think,
or it could be both. It could be both too. Yeah, it could be both too.
I think for me, I think the values that I teach and the values that I carry, like the way that I try to be me regardless of who is around, because I like me now.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, and that's dope.
Like, that's dope, man. Like, because truthfully, I am not, like, when I came home, I didn't want to live. You know what I'm saying? I was perfectly fine with dying. It was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wasn't strong enough to. So this one thing I want to say: the person that kills themselves is a strong motherfucker.
Right.
Like that's a strong. To blank yourself is.
It's not.
You gotta be strong. That shit hard as fuck. That's going against every natural human instinct you have.
Everybody's afraid to die.
To blank yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's tough. It's a tough situation, and I got to a point where I wasn't strong enough to kill myself, but I was perfectly fine with dying.
With dying.
You know what I'm saying? So then I got to me. I like me. Well, fuck no, else like me.
Right.
I like me.
Right.
My girl like me. My mama like me. My kids like me. My dad like me. That's all I need.
When you realize there's about 10 people in your life who you really want to like you,
shit, so much easier.
Shit else matters. Shit else matters at the end of the day, right?
100%.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. When you really figure out those about 5, 6, 7 people in your life who you really want to have that importance to, you know, who you really want to feel important to, once you realize, like, fuck the world, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the world. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And so, like, I feel like my values of who I am, I try to make sure that, like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm going to let the people know that coming up under me, hey, bro, if you go right, that's what's going to happen.
Right. Of course.
You know, I'll share every bit of information that I have, that I know in life, sports, football, women, girls, how to make money, where to work at, stuff like that. I will give you the whole blueprint.
Right, the game.
I will give you everything, bro. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you know, for one, it ain't gonna stop me. Right, I'm gonna get it regardless.
Of course.
You know, but you know, so I hope, and I hope my values become my legacy.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, I dig that. I never heard that one. I've never heard that one.
You know, I hope that what I teach mentally will leave an impact on the next generation. Right. At the end of the day, my biggest fear has always been to be forgotten. You know, I know other people fear death. I don't really fear death. I fear being forgotten. Right. I don't want people to remember me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make sure that I give the game to people. Like, hey, bro, and it could be just as simple. Right. You know what I'm saying? I know a young dude who just got prison, right? Talking about, oh, I want to be a rapper. And I said, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. that might not be the game.
Right. That might be that. That might not be it.
And he was like, "Oh, what you mean?" I'm like, once you get into this rapping, you gonna realize a lot of niggas don't move the way gangsters move, bro.
No.
And you can't do gangster shit with them niggas over there.
No.
You gonna be back in prison.
Right. A lot of niggas don't realize that when you're a rapper, you can't be a gangster. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So stop leaving that value on kids and on people, because that's not a value that you want. You know what I'm saying? These people to grow up with.
There's a way you could speak your life.
Of course.
Now, that's how I tell people, like, okay, gangster rap is gangster rap, but gangster rap is not him telling you to go do it.
Right.
He's speaking his life.
Right.
I'm not telling you to go shoot nobody.
Right.
I'm just saying, nigga, when I rolled down that block, I had to pop that gun.
Right.
Your life ain't like that.
Right.
You know, if a nigga in Compton is talking about his life and you live in, like, I live in the city of Orange. If you live in the city of Orange, you can't live that life.
Right.
You don't have those type of energy.
Exactly. That's why I when people put Jay-Z as his GOAT, I don't ever say Jay-Z. He's definitely top. But do I think he's the GOAT? No. But what I can say of how important he is to music, he's important because he speaks on what he's been through. He speaks on the things that he had to do. But he tells you how to get out. He gives you, it's called the blueprint. He gives you the formula of how. That's what I said. Would you take $50,000? Would you take dinner with Jay-Z? I mean, you heard it.
Yeah, 100%.
You've heard about that. And it's like, his response was dope. His response was like, I would take the $50,000.
100%.
Why? Go back and listen to the music. I gave you, you know what I'm saying? I gave you how to do it. I gave you how to flip this and turn it into this legitimately, and how to do this. And that's a value you can impact, and you can, you know what I'm saying? That's the legacy of the value he created. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I hope, and I want to say, bro, I appreciate you for what you helped me through with music, bro. And just to see your growth, bro, is amazing. Appreciate like 100% to see your growth with your girl, your kids, bro, and being that, like, family man.
I thank you for coming through, man, and breaking bread with me, man, and fellowshipping with me, man. It's we live in these dark times, man. We don't live in a world where we can feel comfortable coming in and speaking on our feelings and speaking on different things, and feeling comfortable. Like I was telling you earlier, we don't black men have never really had a safe space. I created the spot so that this is a place that we could come and enjoy ourselves and deal with ourselves in a certain manner, to where we could speak on the real shit, but also get to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for coming through, man. And
I got you all the time
for so much, man. I thank you, and I always felt appreciated when I spoke to you. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like, you know what I'm saying, when we was coming up and different things, and you never tried to, I ain't listening. You never did that, man. You always, you know what I'm saying, made me feel like I was making an impact on you. You know what
100%.
I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
100%. Because you did. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I have to make sure that I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, black people don't tell black people.
No.
Hey, bro, what you did made me go that way.
Right.
Which made me do this. You know what I'm saying? I wish, obviously with music, I wish I had did things a lot differently. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I thank you, man. Thank you for joining me at the spot, man. We will definitely have this brother back on, man. This is one of those interviews where I really appreciate and I really love. I appreciate all my guests and everything who's ever come through. But obviously this one was a little, you know what I'm saying, a little more complex. We had some hiccups we had to get through it. But
we adapted though.
Again, it's a spot, man. It was never perfect. It was just a place for you to come, hang out, and kick it, and you know what I'm saying, have you a good time. So Malcom, man, thank you for coming through, man.
Anytime,
man,
every time.
Much appreciated, man.
Like
we love you, man. Here,
20 minutes away, bro.
Yeah,
call me.
Man. I got you, man. I appreciate it.
Call me anytime, man.
Thank you, man. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Once again, shalom to you and yours. Appreciate you. Thank you.